Now, if you're on stream, viewing this stream, hello, hi. We have a lot to go over because there's a lot that happened this year. Okay, there's a lot that happened this year. There's a lot. So, we have a lot to go over. So let's do this. So we did 23 predictions for 2023. Now we need to do text countdown. I'm just gonna put this up here. This is the countdown to midnight, as we always do. But right now, I need to do replay. Alright, so the first thing that we're going to do is we're gonna be looking back at a lot of things. But first we're gonna look at Steam, because I haven't really delved into it. I've seen the brief stats that I have, which is why I made certain predictions. But I don't know the specifics. There's a lot of stats that I did not look at. So let's break it down. Here are my stats for Steam. So this is the Steam Replay 2022. This is kind of like the rewind, whatever you want to call it, for this. So this year, you played a lot of new games and unlocked quite a few achievements. Here are a few highlights. Mass Effect Legendary Edition. 24% of playtime. 229 sessions. Okay, we played 50 games and 29 new ones. 29 new games. So this is how I'm going to be able to judge like the games that I played and new games that I played. This is how I'll be able to judge. This is why I said that for Steam only. The Elder Scrolls V, so we have this, the Elder Scrolls V Skyrim was 11% of playtime. So 102 sessions played. We had 395 achievements unlocked. 111 rare achievements. 26 games across 26 games. And I know some of them. Arkham Knight, 9% of playtime, 49 sessions played. Now here's the interesting part. So 42% was played with a keyboard and mouse. 58% was played with a controller, which makes sense because we did a lot of like Baldur's Gate where you can really only do mouse and keyboard and stuff like that. But I prefer controller, so I did a lot of controller. So, and there was a lot of games where controllers were preferred, so that makes sense. So let's see how I compare. I unlocked 395 achievements, and the average user unlocked 21 this year. So I played 50 games this year, and the average player played 5. My longest streak was 33 days. The average was 9. The average streak was 9. So let's break it down. So new releases, 10%. 10%, the percentage of games you played that were new releases, games released during 2022. The average player on Steam played that there were 17%, so new games that were released in 2022. I feel like that percentage is going to go up. Because 2023, I'm looking at a lot of new games. Some of them have already been released, so it's not going to be... I still think that the older games are probably going to have a majority. But I do think that my percentage... it should be at least 20%, I think. That's not an official prediction, but I feel like it's going to be at least 20%. Because there's just so many new games coming out in 2023, and I want to play, like, a lot of them. So, yeah. So, 50% of the games that I played were released between the last 1 to 7 years. But 40% of the games that I played were released 8 or more years ago. Which makes sense because I had a lot of old games that I was trying to play. That includes Arx Fatalis, Fallout 1 for the brief second that I played. I'm sure they count because I gave them a shot. Right? That was the idea. So there were plenty of old games that I played, so that's not really surprising to me. So, here's what I played. So it looks like my majority was medieval, which makes sense. I played a lot of Kingdom Come Deliverance. And also, I don't really know which would fall under medieval, but I assume these are based on tags. So those are kind of like the tags that I played. A lot was medieval and cyberpunk, which makes sense. Choices matter, life sim. That makes sense. By the numbers, so I gifted 8 games. I added 2 new friends. My badges earned. I earned 2 badges, I guess. I reviewed 1. I don't really do this community Steam a lot. So let's take a closer look at the top played games. My top played games. So here's my top played games. So of course, it was not Gears. Of course, Mass Effect is on the list. 24%. I think that means it's number 1. My number 1. Wait, does that make sense? I guess that makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense because I had to do it a lot for the. We will be doing a new Mass Effect Legendary Edition run for 2023, by the way. I'm figuring out the details behind it, but I definitely want to do it. Of course, to keep it up. Skyrim is 11% of the total playtime. I did unlock 100% achievements in this year. That's true. Not necessarily the most honorably way. Well, but I did actually earn a lot of them. So I did earn a lot of them. I just cheated some of them. So I guess I earned them. I earned them before, so I don't see that as a problem. So Batman Arkham Knight, I got 9% of total playtime, 49 sessions, 8-day streak. I unlocked 76 achievements. None of this was cheated. None of these achievements were cheated. I did them honorably. Cyberpunk. So Cyberpunk, 6% of my total playtime. Makes sense. We did the first Cyberpunk playthrough. The full first playthrough. We had 19 sessions played. And 6-day streak. Makes sense. And we started it this year. So there you go. And we unlocked 10 achievements. Kingdom Come Deliverance, 5%. 32 sessions played. 5-day streak. Makes sense. 3 achievements unlocked. Makes sense. So, oh jeez. wow, that's interesting. Okay, so this is like the month by month breakdown of what I played. So in January we started with Skyrim. That makes sense. A lot of Skyrim and a little bit of Witcher. We played February. We played Super Auto Pets and Among Us. That's interesting. March we had Super Auto Pets and Among Us and Detroit Become Human. April we had Batman Arkham City, Super Auto Pets, Mass Effect Legendary Edition, and Gwent. Wait. Oh, I see. Oh, it's split across. Okay, so Batman Arkham City. Wait, what? Oh, Batman Arkham Asylum. Oh, it's just split amongst different games. I see. Okay, that's why. And then May we had Batman Arkham City, Batman Arkham Knight, Skyrim, Mass Effect Legendary Edition, and a lot of games in between. Portal, Rocket League, The Room 2, The Room 3, Among Us, Detroit Become Human, and one more. They could have just listed what the one more is. Okay. Then we had Skyrim and The Room 3, Among Us and The Room 4. And then we had Kingdom Come Deliverance in July, Arkham Knight, Skyrim, Mass Effect Legendary Edition, and then a combination of a lot of things. This is actually really interesting because it breaks it down to the specific month. You can see here we have a lot more of a variety because this is when I started doing kind of like the one game per week thing, a game a day, kind of like different games a day. So very interesting. A lot of House Flipper, yes, I did increase playing House Flipper offline. In September, because I was trying to get more achievements in House Flipper, and also because it's relaxing as well. Yeah, this makes sense. This breakdown makes sense. Let's see the closing. We got a lot of different games in December because, again, we were doing the kind of more variety play. Also, hello, Ocean. So, 58%. So here's more of a breakdown. So, I see. 58% of my playtime was with a controller. Of course, it was 23 games. This is the session. So controller was used for 23 games. Out of the 50 I played this year. Wait. Does that make sense? No. I don't know. The 268 sessions. So I spent. Oh, I see. Yeah, okay. So 40% of the time was Mass Effect. Oh, so 40% controller. Oh wait, what? So it's just the breakdown of the amount of time I played them with controller. So yeah, this makes sense. My longest streak was 33 days between August 30th and October 2nd. Look at this. This is actually really interesting. During this time, I played 16 different games. Within 2 months? Yeah. Wait, August, September, October. No, within... Well, yeah, about 2 months. About 2 months. So we had Half-Life, Morrowind, Batman Arkham Knight, Baldur's Gate 1, Baldur's Gate 2, The Evil Within, Grand Theft Auto 5, Kingdom Come Deliverance, Skyrim, House Flipper, Green Hell, Cyberpunk, Detroit Become Human, Mass Effect, Arena, and Daggerfall. Although some of those aren't exactly honest, but okay. Some of those, well, I suppose I did play them. I did play them for like some of them 2 seconds. Ooh, now here's an interesting. Here's. Look at this, guys. So I guess these are like the 50 games that I played this year. So we got Mass Effect, Skyrim, Arkham Knight, Cyberpunk. First played in 2022. That's kind of fun. Kingdom Come Deliverance, Houseflipper, Super Auto Pets, Arkham City, Detroit Become Human, Morrowind, Baldur's Gate 2, Baldur's Gate 1, Gotham Knights, Batman Arkham Asylum, Rocket League, Wolfenstein: The New Order. See, like, first played in 2022. Well, okay, that's technically not fair because I did play The Witcher 3 on console. But I never finished it, so that was technically my first Witcher complete playthrough this year. Then we had Dead Space, which I never finished because I rage quit. Assassin's Creed, The Room 3, Oblivion, Among Us, YouTuber's Life 2, Fallout 3, The Room 4, Half-Life, The Room 2, A Plague Tale: Innocence, Saints Row the Third, Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, Crimes and Punishment: Sherlock Holmes, Subnautica: Below Zero, Portal, The Evil Within, The Graveyard Girls, Doom Eternal, Skyrim, of course. Oh, I did play. Yes, I did play Legendary Edition for a brief moment, and then I remembered why I needed to play Special Edition. Mass Effect Andromeda, which was a very brief moment. One day we'll actually. Assassin's Creed 2, Icewind Dale, Subnautica, Green Hell, Arx Vitalis, Gwent for a very brief moment, very brief. Bioshock Remastered, again, kind of brief because I had problems with the controller. Fallout 1, I guess. Arena, Grand Theft Auto 5, and a Daggerfall. That's a lot of games. That is a good variety. That's so interesting. I like this visual. Oh my god. There's so many games that I played this year. It's kind of unbelievable, but it makes sense. It makes sense. It does make sense. I'm surprised Spiderman isn't on this, but then again, Spiderman wasn't a huge percentage of the time. We actually went through that pretty quickly. Oh, should we look at other people's? I don't know. Nah, we won't look at other people's. It's not on the stream anyways. I'll look at them later. I'll look at them later. That's fine. Okay. So there is the Steam review. But that was only a small portion of the year. There's a lot that happened this year. There's a lot that happened this year for me. So, let's go over that. I don't remember everything, of course. Like, how did we even start this year? We did a lot this year. And I plan to do a lot more in 2023, although that'll be for next stream. That won't be for this stream, that'll be for next stream. We'll go over kind of the future predictions and the plans that I have, things that I'll do, etc. And it won't even cover everything that I'll do next year. Because I promise you that 2023 is going to be probably one of the biggest years in terms of gaming, in terms of what I do personally. I want to get to the point where this is at least some sort of a job. Not necessarily a job. I don't expect to go full-time next year. I don't expect that at all. But something that could at least help contribute to at least something that tells me that this is going to be more long-term. Because as much as I love streaming, I do love streaming. It obviously doesn't pay the bills. So, I mean, that is what really hinders me from being able to commit, like, full-time at, like, 100%. I wish we're not at that point yet. We're not consistently at that point. Like, I do appreciate the support and everything, 100%. But I have to be honest that there's no way that this could be a full-time job yet. But, you know, I'm willing to be patient and wait. However, I am trying to make a lot of changes to the channel and the brand. And there's a lot of exciting things coming in 2023. Again, I'm not going to talk about it here because this is not the right stream to do that. I'm going to end up repeating myself next stream tomorrow. So I won't do that. But what I will say is that for 2022, oh jeez, there's a lot that happened this year. Privately and also publicly. I graduated college. That's a weird one to say almost. It's kind of weird. It's kind of weird to say that I'm done with education. At least right now. I don't know. I don't know if I don't know. I don't know a lot of things. I don't know about. I'm gonna take things one step at a time. I don't know. But the fact that I have a bachelor's degree is something weird. It's hanging right there. It's right there. I can look at it. It's right. It's right there. It has my name on it. So it's not fake. It did happen. So that's weird. But there's a lot that truly did happen this year. Oh my gosh. I studied abroad this year. I started drinking alcohol this year, which is weird. I like literally, because I have a hard time consuming alcohol. Well, I have a hard time drinking alcohol or eating alcohol. Well, yeah, just consuming alcohol because I'm Asian. That's really what it boils down to. So I can't like drink or eat like beer or wine, like marinated things. But I've discovered that I can drink white rum. I also can drink a couple other things as long as they're in a cocktail. There are some things that I don't take as easily, though. And there are some, like, I don't know. It's very interesting to at least be able to say that I can drink alcohol. Because for a while, I couldn't. But I took that step to try, because I mean, it's not about there being a social pleasure in it or pressure in it. Like, I know that there often is kind of this kind of social element of where it kind of feels like you kind of have to drink in certain situations, which is not true at all. You should never feel pressure to drink at all. If you don't want to drink, don't drink. But at least being, like, I just like being able to have, like, an adult drink every once in a while. And it's only every once in a while. I don't drink often. It's only ever just, like, one drink. One drink, like, in a week, at least. So that was a interesting change that happened this year, because for half the year I was like, I don't drink alcohol, and then suddenly I drink alcohol. so so that's interesting. I've also joined a lot of communities just in general. I guess I was already a part of a lot of them, but it's refreshing to be in front of new faces and around new people. It's also anxiety inducing, but that's more of a me problem than anything else. It's only anxiety inducing because getting to know new people is weird. I don't know if other people think that way, but I have a very hard time making new friends. It is very challenging. Especially, it's kind of like a weird thing, I suppose. I'm very introverted. I don't know if social anxiety is necessarily the right term for it. But I guess it is. I mean, I guess, yeah, it is. I mean, it is social anxiety, but I don't. The thing is, I don't know how much of it is ADHD and how much of it is just anxiety. If that makes sense, because I know that anxiety comes with ADHD. Like part of ADHD is anxiety, but it's very hard for me to tell if it's if it's the disorder or if it's something else. That's why it's very challenging to get multiple diagnoses. I don't know if you guys notice this or know this, but it's very challenging to get multiple diagnoses because it's easy to pinpoint one problem. Like, right, it's easy to pinpoint one problem, but it's hard to pinpoint multiple problems because a lot of the symptoms for other problems also can fall under that same problem. Like it could be just the ADHD, or it could also be something else. But it's very hard to distinguish them because the symptoms are so similar, which is why it's very difficult to get diagnosis for multiple things, because your doctor's always going to be like, well, you have this already, so it probably is just this, and they might be right. They might be right. It might just be that. It is very probable. But there's also a good chance that there's also misdiagnosis and also late diagnosis as well. So, and I've talked with doctors and therapists as well. So, that's not just coming out of my... I'm not just making... I'm just making that up. The point is... getting on track. It's definitely... being able to be a part of like something new is definitely different. But it's a good different, I think. It's interesting because my past doubts are still there. Like it's very hard to unlearn something. Like, if you kind of, like, grew up and you were kind of indirectly taught, like, one thing, it's very hard to unlearn that one thing. It's kind of like your brain goes into survival mode because it doesn't want it to happen again. Like, it doesn't even have to be like trauma. It can just be something that has just been built up. And it's what's interesting is that I had several realizations, several connections that I had never made before about my personal life, about my personal upbringing, that I never really thought about, but it makes sense. Like, suddenly things kind of make sense. I'm like, wait, did that affect me more than I thought that it did? Because it's not like these are new events. It's not like these are things that I'm like, oh, I forgot that happened. Because it's not like that. But it's more so like, at the time, I didn't think it was that big of a deal. But now reflecting on it, it is kind of a bigger deal. If that makes sense. It's like more... I think this year has been a lot of self-reflecting and kind of just realizing I don't know if I should necessarily say it on stream. It's like I guess in a sense it's the result of denial and kind of reassurance. Because for me growing up, I didn't really make a big deal of things. I was not that person. I was not someone who just like was bothered easily. So I think now that I'm still kind of that way. But now it's more, I guess, that I'm realizing that I could have been treated better. It's like coming to terms that the friends that I thought were good friends were not. And that doesn't mean that they were bad people or had bad intentions, because I don't think that's the case. But I think they're just events that happen where it explains a lot about how I am today. Like, I'm not antagonistic about it, because I mean, it's been literally 10 years. Over 10 years. We were literally kids. So it's not something that I hold a grudge over or something. I don't do that. I don't really do that. I don't do that. That's not my person. But it's like small things that I realize are like not okay. I don't know. There's a lot of that this year. But in terms of streaming, I feel like I've grown a lot. I feel like I've learned a lot. Things that I didn't realize that I needed to learn, I suppose. And I'm not always going to make the right decisions. I understand that. I'm a human being. I make mistakes. I make wrong judgments as well. Which is why I'm always hesitant to make any decisions, because I always feel like I'm going to make, at some point, the wrong decision that I'm going to regret. But the way that I see it, and the way that I kind of approach things is, if it's meant to be, it'll happen. If it's not, it won't. And I just kind of go with it. Because at the end of the day, I can say I'm not going to do something. I can say that I will do something. But at the end of the day, it only matters if it does happen. Because that's the only way that I'll know for sure. And in some cases, I already know that it's going to happen. It's kind of freeing in a way. And it's important to remember that we are all human beings that make mistakes, that need repentance and forgiveness. That doesn't mean that we always deserve it. But it's important to remember. It's okay to look back and say, didn't really like doing that. Could have made a better decision there. It's okay to do that, and I think it's important to, in some cases, to kind of reflect on our actions and understand where we can improve. It's kind of like looking at your job performance. Like, if you know that you did this like one thing completely wrong, it's okay to own up to it and even encourage to, because that's how we grow as people, as human beings. That's how we grow. We grow by reflection. And that should never be frowned upon. I also don't think I also think that it's kind of necessary and important to have those, like, not great days. Because it's almost humbling in a way. Where it's like, no matter how euphoric you may be, and no matter how good you might think you're doing, there's always a setback. Always. And it kind of keeps you in check in a way. As to, oh yeah, I can do wrong. I'm not Superman or something. So, that's important. This year, a lot happened. A lot of good things happened this year. But also, some bad things happened this year. A lot of deaths happened this year. But then again, a lot of deaths always happen. But some that hit close to home. Very, very close to home. And it's okay to remember them. And mourn for them. And grieve for them. Even if you don't really know them. Even if you've never heard of them. It's okay to grieve. Now, I do know that now to just transition a little bit more. I need to know that there was, there's a rewind that was made that I want to react to. It's called YouTube Rewind, but it actually exists. It's by Timeworks, so we're going to react to it. So let's do it. Let's see what happened this year. Maybe we'll make some... We'll remember some things. Okay, here we go. Wait, one second. I'm gonna restart this, but 1 second. we go. YouTube Rewind 2022, but it actually exists. Let's react.
Jiggle, jiggle.
I never expected this kind of explosion.
In the Earth's stratosphere, finally, we reach the boundaries of space.
On the back rooms.
Ben?
Ben,
Yes?
buy Twitter Blue.
No.
Ah.
I recreated Willy Wonka's chocolate factory in real life.
Open the gates!
I want to thank everybody and say that I think I want to.
You know, I forgot that the Will Slap was this year. I kind of thought it was last year. But no, it was this year.
To nominate this award to my Reformed Orthodox Rabbi Bill Clinton. Thank you, everybody.
I am now a dad of 2.
Presented to Ludwig for being the shortest streamer.
I really like cones.
Yo, what up, gamers? It's your boy Jaja Jax Films, and thank you so much for 100,000 subscribers. Let's pop a bottle.
A mega pint of red wine.
My dog stepped on a bee.
Fitness. Transformation.
We're missing a lot of our play buttons. This is just our English channel.
This might just be the most chaotic start to a Hermitcraft season I think I've ever had ever.
I love pizza so much.
Today's the day. Really, really appreciate everyone who were supportive of us going. It meant a lot that people were cheering for us, you know?
Yeah.
In reality, feelings and emotions are the fundamental human language, and making things with feelings in mind should seem natural and yet is so counterintuitive.
I'm pretty sure this isn't 99,000. Yes, yes, one more. Yes! I win all the prizes. Every YouTuber always gives like a dramatic monologue whenever they pass a milestone, and that just isn't me. I'm sorry. So yeah, we passed 100K. That's kind of cool. Bye. Forge your own destiny.
I declare before you all that my whole life, whether it be long or short, shall be devoted to your service and to the service of our great imperial family to which we all belong.
And if you could just put a smile on somebody's face, one person's face, you might change the whole world. Thank you for the wonderful life you've given me.
So you could be watching it in 50 years' time. Easy. I'll not be here, sadly. But Haggard will. Yes.
Our dog Maya sadly passed away. She's been taking part in videos for as long as this channel has existed, so.
And especially the darker feelings, you know, the feelings of loss and nostalgia and pain and things ending. You know, people don't like to embrace those feelings, but there's beauty in those feelings, because there's beauty in like the human experience, and that is, to quote Lion King, you know, the circle of life. It's just man.
It's morbid time.
Hi. Oh, that is a scratch.
There we are. What? Oh my gosh! Dude, it has depth. It's embossed. We infiltrated not one, not two, not three, but 4 different scam call centers. Congrats on 600,000 subscribers.
I'd like to see you wiggle, wiggle, for sure.
Chrissy, wake up! I don't like this! Chrissy, wake up! Fucking hell!
We just hit 100 million subscribers! This is over a decade of my life represented in one item. Oh my goodness! From the bottom of my heart, thank you everyone who subscribed. This channel means the world to me, and I genuinely appreciate anyone who's ever watched the videos.
Alright, that was awesome. There's kind of things that I kind of forgot about, but also, I mean, not forgot about in the sense that I forgot that it happened, but forgot about because that I forgot that it happened this year. Like the Amber Heard versus Johnny Depp, kind of forgot that that was this year. But I mean, timeline makes sense. It makes sense. And of course, like I said, we did lose a lot of people this year. But I feel like it's almost important to have that loss, if that makes sense. Like, I know, of course, it sucks to be sad. But it's kind of like in the Inside Out movie, where basically the message is that sadness is an important emotion to have. Like, it might hurt. It might suck a lot. But it's still important to have. You know, remorse is a very important thing to experience. It's what makes us human beings, really. To have that empathy and that emotional connection to people, to things, to whatever. Like, that is what really, truly makes us human beings. And there were a lot of tough losses this year. I don't even know how many, but let's kind of remember them. Because I do think it's important to remember. Oh yeah, the latest one was the Pope Benedict the 16th. There's also Barbara Walters, Pele. I have no idea who this is, but Vivian Westwood. Oh, she was in Sex and the City. I don't know. Franco Harris from the Pittsburgh Steelers. Twitch, not Twitch as in the website, but Twitch as in the person who the guy, the DJ from Ellen DeGeneres. Kirstie Alley, who was best known for her role in Cheers. Bob McGrath, who was one of the founding cast members of Sesame Street in 1969. It's crazy to think that Sesame Street is that old. Gaylord Perry, who's a player on the Giants. Christine McVie? I have no idea who that is. Something called the Chicken Shack. Irene Cara acted in Roots. I have no idea who this is. John Aniston. Soap opera, apparently. Gallagher, a stand-up comedian. I have no idea. Kevin Conroy. That's all I need to say. Aaron Carter died this year? Huh? I did not hear about that. Did I? If I did, I did not remember that. I did not know that he was dead. Takeoff? I have no idea who Takeoff is, but rest in peace. Jerry Lee Lewis? Julie Powell? Leslie Jordan. That was a tough one. Ashton Carter? No idea who that is, but okay. Robbie Coltrane, aka Hagrid. Angela Lansbury, aka Mrs. Potts in Beauty and the Beast, and also, of course, in Murder, She Wrote. Loretta Lynn. Don't know who that is, but Coolio, who created Gangsta's Paradise. Hillary Nelson, who is an epic ski mountaineer. Louis Fletcher. Don't know who that is, but okay. Pharaoh Sanders. Hilary Mantel. I don't know who that is, but rest in peace. Jean-Luc Godard. Apparently, he was a radical and revolutionary filmmaker who helped shape cinema in the 1960s. Kenneth Starr? No idea who that is. Queen Elizabeth II? Of course I know who that is. Bernard Shaw. Apparently one of the first black anchors in TV news. Co-anchor on ABC. Wait, actually I do know him. Moon Landreau? Oh, right. Mikhail Gorbachev. Tear down that wall. Tim Page. Anne Heck. Olivia Newton-John. Icy Miyake. David McCullough. I don't know who that is. I don't know a lot of these people. Vince Scully. Bill Russell. Nichelle Nichols. Apparently was in Star Trek. Pat Carroll. Tony Dow. Paul Sorvino. Claes Oldenburg. Ivana Trump. Tony Sirico. Shinzo Abe. James Caan. Margaret Keane. Mary Mara. Ray Liotta. Roger Angel. Richard Wald. Robert McFarlane. Naomi Jude. Orrin Hatch. Oh. Oh, I did not know that. Robert Morse. Gilbert Godfrey. R.I.P. That was an early one, wasn't it? Yeah, I think that. April. Jersey Welsman. Estelle Harris. Patrick DeMarquelier. Tom Parker. Taylor Hawkins. Dirk Halstead. Madeline Albright. Dawn Young. Scott Hall. William Hurt. Why do I know that name? Okay. Emilio Delgado. Sally Kellerman. Dr. Paul Farmer. PJ O'Rourke. Yvonne Reitman. Betty Davis. Monica Vitti. Robin Herman. Chelsea Kirst. Howard Hessman. Manfred Mugler. Louis Anderson. Thich Nhat Hanh. Marvin Lee Aday. Gaspard Ulliel. Andre Talley. Charles McGee. Nino Cerruti. Ronnie Spector. Clyde Belcourt. Bob Saget. Maria Ewing. Wing? Wait, was it Wing or Wing? Ewing. Marilyn Bergman. Michael Lang. Lonnie Grenier? I don't know. Peter Bogdanovich. Sydney Poiter. And I think that's it. Wait. Oh yeah, that's it. Because Betty White died last year. So, again, a lot of losses this year. Always unfortunate. But also a lot of positives. Oh, also that what not noted in this, obviously there was Technoblade, fellow YouTuber, which is always unfortunate. So we still have quite some time, a little bit of time. So let's, I don't know, oh, here's another one. I'm actually kind of curious at looking at this one, this YouTube Rewind. I always like to look at them. Just to see. Just kidding, it's not displaying. Why does it always happen? Okay, never mind. I think it's just being weird. It always happens like at the end of the year. The browsers start being weird. Okay. I'm trying to think if there's anything that I've like forgotten to do. I kind of looked back at the year a little bit. Obviously, it's not everything. Obviously, we can't look back at everything. And I don't want to talk about what's gonna happen in 2023 because I do want to save that for next stream. So I guess the question is, how do we want to end the year? Let's... Maybe we should play a game? To finish out the year? Oh yeah, Gotham Knights happened this year. There's a lot of games that happened this year, actually. Should we recap? Oh, let's recap on the games that were released this year, actually. That's one thing that I forgot to do. Games released 2022. Let's take a look. That's something that we can look at. Games that were released this year. Because maybe there's some that we forgot about.